What's going on, everybody? This is No Comment Podcast, or No Comment Show, better yet. I'm here today with Brimah. I wish you were actually in the what's the latest one that I just did?
The pull up and wreck.
Yeah, that joint, the Metro Boomin one.
Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
Double or Nothing. That was it.
I wish Brimah was in that one, cause you know me and
I didn't
Brimah.
think it was so bad. It was okay.
Look, I didn't like that, but I wish Brimah was in it because, you know, Brimah's funny, and you know me and Brimah are advocates for Big Sean.
Yeah.
So that's why we critique him so hard. But Big Sean's not the spotlight of this video. It's actually the Huncho Jack album review. That's Travis Scott and Quavo, which they've been hyping up since I want to say February or March of this year. And now they dropped this album. It's a 13-track album. It's about 42 minutes, which is a decent time for an album. Anything past that, I'm just like, okay, I can't bear with this any longer.
Agreed.
And you know, it's Travis Scott and Quavo, so you know I gotta sit there and give it my all. Now, I want to know exactly what you thought about this album when you first listened to it.
To be completely honest with you, when it comes to listens to albums, I kind of treat it like dating. So it doesn't take me 4 or 5 dates to know if I don't like you. It only takes one.
Continue.
So I'd be lying to you if I said I heard Huncho Jack 6 or 7 times, because I didn't. I only heard it once in its entirety, because that's how I take every project in the first time from front to back. I don't want to go as far as to say I didn't like it. I definitely am a bit underwhelmed for the simple fact that it's Quavo and Travis. You know what I mean?
You expect a lot.
I not even that I expected a lot. I expected more than what I got. I would definitely confidently say that. I mean, we have Kelly Price already. That's already in history.
Pick up the phone. That's another one.
Pick up the phone is Travis and
Quavo.
Quavo doesn't have much of a presence on that track, so we don't necessarily have to use that as a.
That's true. No, oh yeah, Young Thug has one verse.
Yeah,
okay.
it's Young Thug and Travis's song. More importantly, we have On This Side, which is a Quavo and Travis song, and we have Kelly Price, which is Amigo and Travis
My
song.
This Side, yeah.
Yeah, which is Amigos and Travis song. Which, with that being said, we've had, you know, cases in the past that show that Quavo and Travis could work together and they could work really well.
Okay.
And with that being said, on a 13-track album, I didn't necessarily feel like I was listening to a Quavo and Travis album. It just kind of, to me, just was really not an album that I could see being played continuously. I mean, it sounded good while I had a few drinks, yeah, but that's not saying much from two of the biggest acts in hip-hop. You know what I mean?
Now, I have a question, because you said that it was very underwhelming. Is that because of the hype that was built up with the album, or do you think that's because of just Travis and Quavo in general?
It has to do with content. I don't really look at it as, okay, well, this is how much hype it had, and this is how much, you know, how much quality and really just intertwine them. I don't like to think that intricately when I'm, you know, just critiquing a project. I just like to listen to the music, how I feel off the bat, and just go off of that. And unfortunately speaking, it had more so to do with Quavo than it did with Travis, because I honestly feel like Travis definitely held his own on the record, but Quavo, in my opinion, just couldn't keep up. And that's sad to say, because I am a Quavo fan, I am an Amigos fan, but it really just made me realize that Quavo isn't really his own entity. He's at his best when he's Amigos. And that's respectfully speaking, you know what I mean? But did we need this project? Did I need this in my arsenal of music? I don't know.
Now, I want to go back to the dating thing, because that's absolutely true. I agree, and I kind of listen to music the same way. You said it's kind of like dating. I don't need to go on 5-6 dates to understand if I like this person, or I don't need to listen to this 5-6 times over to really know if I like it. When I listen to a Drake song, right, and we always bring up Drake in our conversation because Drake is a great example. It's like,
the GOAT.
Right? He puts out a song. If I hear it and I'm like, ooh, this is nice, like, that's how I know I like it.
Yeah.
But if I have to say, like, oh, okay, you know, maybe it don't sound good because I'm drunk, let me listen to it when I'm sober, or no, it don't sound that good in my headphones, maybe I gotta listen to it in the car. No, if I gotta even think about if it's good or not, it's not for me. Now, as for it being underwhelming, I agree with you on that. I do think it's underwhelming. I think it's underwhelming for 2 things. One, it's Travis and Quavo. I didn't expect it to be absolutely amazing, because they typically sound the exact same. They use the same auto-tune. They kind of have the same ad-libs for this, you know, in the same sense. They piggyback off of each other. I want something experimental. I want Travis, and then I want Drake, because Drake you can understand, and then Travis you have in the background giving you the little the background vocals and the effects, you know?
Yeah.
And then Drake could rap. You know, something where people could help each other rather than they just sound the same, and then it's just basically one person. It's like a Migos song. It's like when you listen to Takeoff, Offset, and Quavo, for the average listener, they all three of them sound the same.
I disagree. When it comes to Migos and all three of those guys making music together, they all have somewhat of a distinctive sound that they all bring to a project to then make it blossom. In regards to this project, Huncho Jack Huncho, I don't think that these two heavyweights in the hip hop game in 2017, both, you know, obviously Migos and Travis, like they're at the pinnacle of hip hop. With that being said, I don't think that if and when they were in the studio with all of these songs being made, we would have got the project that we got. Because with that being said, Travis has his own musicality. Travis has his own way of making music, and he's very much so in tune with how his music sounds.
Right.
And if you implement Quavo onto it, i.e. on this side, which is on Travis's album, it sounds great. When we have Migos, you know, who know their sound, who are making their album, which is shaped around their sound, and then you implement Travis onto it, i.e. Kelly Price, he sounds great. But when we have these two on a project from front to back, it didn't sound as great as those two songs, which tells me that this is, you know, two artists that know how present they are in the hip hop game, and said, listen, you know, the streets are gonna go crazy because I'm Travis, I'm hot as fuck, you're Quavo, you're hot as fuck, you're 1/3 of Migos, the hottest group in hip hop,
right?
And they put together a project just knowing that the average consumer would say, okay, it's Travis and Quavo on a record. It's gonna be dope. But when we're talking about the people that critique music and the people that have an ear for music, are you gonna sit here and say that this is a what a time to be alive at the least?
Of course not.
Absolutely not. Are you gonna say this is a Watch the Throne? No.
So is it because Watch the Throne and What a Time to Be Alive were so big because those two people on those projects were completely different from each other, right?
No.
Like Future and Drake are completely different. Drake just knew how to adapt to Future's, like, you know, drugged out, leaned out sound. And Oh My This Side was so big because that was their first song together. I think
so.
What was their first song together?
No, I'm not saying that it wasn't their first song together. I don't think that it was big because it was their first song together. I think that it was big because in that time, Migos wasn't what Migos is today. You understand what I'm saying? And with that being said, Quavo had much more of, not a journey ahead of him, but like I said, they are both too big. Okay. In 2015, I believe, when Rodeo came out, Travis was just about, like, you know, starting his takeover of, you know, the hip hop genre. You know, but he didn't, you know, he didn't necessarily take it over as he has in this, you know, in this year. And the same goes for Migos. Migos didn't emerge for a lot of people until the culture, you know, coming out in the beginning of the year. A lot of people were still unfamiliar with Migos. And that's what I'm saying. In that time, they were at two different points in their musical career. But what I'm simply saying is that this album is not for the people with ears for music. Is my point.
It's for the stands.
Not even the stands, because even the stands, you know, even though they're really fucked in the head, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and defend them much because they are very biased. They even at times can be, you know, somewhat critical of work that they know isn't up to par with their artists, you know, previous work or work that they know they're capable of putting out. In regards to just this album, I truly do believe that this was put out for those, you know, those fans that made hip-hop the biggest genre in 2017. Hip-hop is the biggest genre in 2017,
yes.
Not because, you know, the people for ear for music appreciate the music that's being put out, i.e. the Little Pumps of the world,
right? You
know, the 21 Savage. I love me some 21 every now and again, but it's not, you know, it's not the music that we had 10 or so years ago, and the people that are actually critical of music know that. That's just facts. That's not hating on anybody. And with that being said, the hype beasts, whatever you want to call them, this album is for them that are just going to say, yeah, it's hot because Travel and Quavo are on it. But it's not about that. We're slowly but surely losing this idea of music actually, I don't want to go as far as to say not having quality, because it's still quality. It's still quality music, but I expect more of Travis Scott and Quavo.
I think they just rushed into it because, like you said, they're so buzzed right now that they were just like, look, let's just the fear that we're gonna fall off. We're at the pinnacle of where we're at. Let's just put a project together because we know people are gonna eat it up. And is that what you're saying?
I agree with the last half.
That's what you were kind of saying.
I agree with the last half of it more so than the first half. I think that it's more narcissistic than you just presented it. It really is just a matter of them knowing how hot they are in the streets and just saying, yo, let's just put something out.
They could put out
They're gonna eat it up.
And they're gonna eat it up. People are gonna eat it up.
They're gonna eat it up.
Now, going into this project though, I have a big issue with Travis's ad-libs. And Travis's ad-libs make up for almost 85% of the content that he puts out. Now, Brimah claims that his ad-libs are immaculate on this album.
Yeah,
like, he was saying that they were almost as good, in my opinion, of the ad-lib placement on The Hooch, which I think is the perfect ad-lib placement on any song Travis has ever put out, was The Hooch. I think. If anything, I'm tired of them because it's the same ad-libs. He's not giving me anything new. Like, it's really funny because I think on the first song, Modern Slavery, he says ice, and that sounded hot because I was like, this is something I don't hear often. But when he says pop it, he's like pop it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this. I can't listen to this anymore. And it's gotten so serious with the ad-libs that when I was listening to this project now, and I texted Shady and I was like, yo, am I tired of Travis Scott? There's no way. That's like me saying, am I tired of Drake? It's impossible. I never thought the day would come, right? And I had to literally go back and listen to Rodeo and Birds in the Trap to really know if I got tired of Travis and his ad-libs, which I didn't. Because when I listened to Sweet Sweet, which is my favorite song off that project, beautiful. Ad-libs were perfect. I wasn't tired of it. And then I listened to Lose, perfect. The second song, The Ends, Way Up, whatever, perfect. But then when I went right back to this album, I was like, okay, there's something about this album, something about his ad-libs. Maybe it's because he keeps recycling the same words, or maybe it's just the effects. Maybe he's just making it more screechy. Before it was mixed with more like deeper auto-tune and more cooler effects. Now it's just him screeching it, and it's like it like blares in your freaking ear, right? You're just sitting there. You're just listening.
I'm just taking.
I feel like it just went from one ear to the next.
Well, that's one thing that I just can't agree with you on. I absolutely cannot. Travis has truly mastered his sound for his music, and he's well aware of what's what should be and what shouldn't be. And with that being said, I truly believe on this project, the ad-libs are spot on. And with that being said, I truly do believe if I felt that Travis overpopulated this album with ad-libs, or they just weren't, placed perfectly as he has done in the past, I would have felt that. But I didn't feel that. And I didn't really depict it earlier when I was critiquing the album, but my issue with this album necessarily isn't even Travis, it's Quavo, who I definitely think that, can keep up. I think I said that earlier. But, in regards to Travis and his performance, I don't want to go as far as to say he's better than ever, but he really, really knows his musicality, and I respect him for that, because not a lot of people have honed their sound in such a short period as Travis has.
I disagree. I'm the exact opposite of you as you. I think Travis his ad-libs were by far the most annoying. They were just so saturated. Like, okay, I would be okay with Travis's ad-libs if he gave me one maybe every other 3-4 lines. He threw one in every single line. Like, how do you not get tired of that? And Quavo's ad-libs I was okay with, because Quavo gives you, his ad-libs are always different because he gives you the word at the ending of his line. So it's always something different.
Is that creative though?
I mean, it's more creative than Travis. I mean, Travis keeps saying the same ones. yeah, or puppet, or yeah, like it's all the same shit. It's lit.
If you have a winning formula, why change it? That's the point.
But that's
he's been doing this. He's been doing these bro. Travis,
he's been doing them for a long time.
This is the fourth studio. This is the fourth studio album by Travis. Okay.
It's finally at this album. He needs to switch it up. He needs to give me something new. Use a different word. Use a different effect. Do something, because the ad-libs you're putting out right now are just not for me. I really do think
As I said previously, Travis is a winning formula. Travis does not need to switch it up, you know, as some of these artists have needed to switch it up. You know what I mean? Travis has really has his foot knee deep into this hip-hop game.
I feel like eventually, not eventually, and trust me, not eventually as in like 5 years, I really think within 2 projects, I think Travis is eventually going to fall off, where people are just not as excited for Travis anymore because he just constantly gives you the same thing. Like, I want something different. I want a more adaptive artist. I want someone that could, like Drake.
It's not happening. It's not happening. I don't mean to cut you off.
No,
like I said, you know, you have just as much as opinion as I do, but it's not fucking happening. I don't see Travis falling off 2 albums from now. I don't see it happening, quite frankly, because that should have happened 2 albums ago.
I do think that Travis, in my ears, if he doesn't switch it up and give me something different, I do feel like I'm personally gonna get tired of him, and in my eyes, he's gonna fall off. And every single thing after that I start hearing, if he keeps giving me the same ad-libs and the same sound, it's just it's gonna be boring. Which is why I like Rodeo a lot, because Rodeo, like, you know, he gave you the rapping with Apple Pie and, like, you know, the second part of 90210, and then also gave me the singing on Oh My This Side and, you know, 3500 and whatever and all that stuff. But then Birds was that one project. It did so well, luckily, because of those instrumentals.
There was no fucking luckily. That album is a fucking masterpiece. Stop it.
It's really good, yes. It's really good, but I was surprised that with an album heavily surrounded around just him singing and those ad-libs, that I was surprised that I was like, okay, this is really good, but can he do it again? Can he do this whole project all over again with Astro World? And the pace he's going with Huncho Jack is he's taking that Birds and Trap formula and he's running with it.
Bro, but Huncho Jack is not his project. He has to play by Quavo's rules as well, because Quavo is too big of an act to ignore. You have to understand
but they go together, they mix together.
Yeah, but
they sound the same.
But it depends who you're asking. Me and you, for example, don't think that it's the greatest fucking album put out. But other people can't necessarily attest to that, is what I'm saying.
I can understand that. I mean, people have their opinions, but it's like,
and that's why Travis
at the end of the day, we're Travis fans as well.
That's why Travis is gonna have the longevity, whether you want him to or not. Because at the end of the day, Travis has really just created his sound so fucking powerfully and so in such a short period of time that it's not something that's gonna come and go. Because at this fucking point, there's nobody that sounds like Travis Scott. There are some imitations, yes, i.e. the Ty Dolla song that you spoke of, that I haven't heard.
Right.
But there is nobody that has executed it in a way that Travis
Travis does, right.
I didn't mean to turn this into a Travis Scott rant, but, you know, I just have high hopes for him, and I know that Huncho Jack didn't fall flat on his face because of Travis's efforts. I think that him and Quavo can make a song together. Can they make an album together? No.
Overall perspective, Huncho Jack, underwhelming. You made us wait so long. You hyped it up a lot. I expected a lot more. And going on to the conversation on me thinking that Travis is going to fall off, I'm going to stick to that. I do think with those ad-libs, if he doesn't switch it up and give me something new, people are going to see that distinct noise as something that's more so just generic at a point. I really do think that. I'm scared to see what Astro World is going to be. I'm scared to think that Astro World might be that one album where I'm just like, wow, I'm really tired of Travis. Do you have any last words?
Travis Scott is amazing. His efforts on Huncho Jack are not why. It's the way that I feel about it. I truly just do believe that in this day and age where 2 artists that are, you know, very, very prominent in the rap game believe that they can make a project, i.e. Big Sean and Metro Boomin, i.e. Offset and 21 Savage, i.e. Future and Young Thug. It's just very convoluted. It's very much so too much. And I honestly maybe do believe, now that I'm thinking about it, had those 4 or 5 collaborative projects had not come out before this one, maybe it would have been a little better. I do think that we are definitely at a point where these collaborative projects desensitized. I agree with these collaborative projects. You know, our expectations are put at a point where they are not met. And with that being said, as far as I'm concerned, was it a terrible album? No. Was it the album that it should have been? No. And I look forward to 2018, where Travis will put out an album that he has complete creative control around, as well as when Migos puts out Culture 2, where they have complete control around, because those two guys, i.e. Migos and Travis Scott, know their own respective sounds. But can they come together, as we've seen with Huncho Jack? Sometimes.
They just need to put a little more effort into it. Put some more time into it, really.
Tell the fucking culture vultures to stop eating up anything with Travis Scott and Quavo's name on it. Maybe we'll get some more quality. Maybe the people that actually care for music can then enjoy the music, because they'll put out more fucking quality. But in regards to the average consumer, this album was fucking everything it needed to be and more. But that's not me, and that's not you. That's why the No Comment Podcast exists.
Yeah, we're not yes men here, okay?
Not at all.
Just to end it off, I just want to give the viewers my 3 favorite and maybe least favorite songs on this album. The song Huncho Jack, Dubai Shit, Moon Rock. My least favorite would have to be Where Are You From, Saint Laurent Mask, definitely Best Man. That's the last song. Please, not again. Thank you. But anyways, this is No Comment Podcast or show. No Comment Show now, because we're on YouTube. So fuck Apple Podcast and fuck SoundCloud, because we're going virtual here. Okay, now you can see our faces. Okay, so enjoy that. And this is the Huncho Jack album review. My name is Akil. Do your mama thing.
Mama.
And thanks for watching. Peace out.